By a show of hands, who here has a friend or family member who has a neurological disorder? Okay, I see a couple of people. Well, for those who went through it, with their loved ones, it can be a very challenging and hard situation. Back then, I couldn't name you any neurological diseases, besides the obvious ones, like Alzheimer's and multiple sclerosis. But in 2019, I steadily got familiar with a very rare symptom called chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy, or CIDP for short. At that time, it turned my life into a tailspin. Fellow Toastmasters and fellow guests. So, what is CIDP exactly? CIDP is a chronic condition where your immune system attacks its own nerves, which later on cause paralysis. Some of the symptoms are weakness in the muscles and the nerves that causes lack of motion in your body and reflexes. It can also cause a loss of balance and constant weakness, among other things. Still to this day, the doctor don't know how I got CIDP. Luckily, it's something that is not hereditary nor contagious through blood or fluid. I am basically a one of one. It's like if I hit the lottery, but in reverse. Before all of this ordeal, I had the best life. I was in great shape, had a great job, great relationships, everything was in the up and up. But early 2019, something just wasn't right. I started to feel tingling around my body and constant fatigue. But I attribute it to winter. I mean, you guys know how it is in Quebec, right? Cold all the time. So I thought to myself, okay, catch a cold, it's gonna go away. Nothing much to it. But no, it didn't end there. It was starting to get worse and worse. Just let me picture how bad it was becoming. I got this pug at home, small little cute dog. I had to muster all of the strength just to pick up my dog and drop him on my bed. Just thinking about it is crazy. Eventually with time, I finally got administered to the Cité de la Santé hospital in March 2019. I remember like if it was yesterday. With the doctor, I went through several uncomfortable procedures, the main one being lumbar puncture. For those who doesn't know what it is, it's a long needle like this, stick up in the lower part of your spine, drilling through, capturing some fluid. Very uncomfortable. But they were able to use that to find out what I got. And finally they said, yes, you do have CIDP. That was by far the worst period in my life. And I was continuing to atrophy, meaning that I wasn't able to move. I was paralyzed. I was, before a strong 170-pound man, all the way down to soaking wet 120 pounds. I thought to myself, I was gonna be wheelchair bound, or even worse. After several long weeks, doctor finally came up with a solution. I hate uttering this word, but he said we could use chemotherapy on you. Like, not the cancer chemotherapy, but chemotherapy regardless. It's still something very scary to hear. But that was my only glimmer of hope. So we went on through it. I'm telling you right now, I don't wish this on anybody. It is not comfortable at all. But it started to work progressively, slowly but surely. I started to get some functions back. And it's then that I capitalized on it. Said to myself, okay, I got all the help around me, so I have to go and jump on this occasion right now. So I used the help of physiotherapists, occupational therapists, kinesiologists, speech therapists, because I couldn't talk at that time. The most important one of them all, psychologists. Because again, I couldn't move. None of my muscle worked besides my heart and also my brain. So I need to have the right mindset to get through this ordeal. I had to have resilience. Slowly but surely, I was getting better and better. And I was starting to do like the most trivial of things, like standing up straight on a walker, or just picking up a small little pen like this. And it worked. After 9 long months of countless rehabs, endless injections and appointments, the neurologist finally discharged me from the hospital. I was so ecstatic. Hard work really paid off, even with my limitations. I could talk much longer about CIDP. I barely scratched the surface, but I'm gonna leave you guys with this. CIDP is a neurological condition that can and will alter your way of life. A lot of times I thought about giving up, I won't lie. We all went through that one time or another in our lives, let's be honest. But with resilience and perseverance, you can get back on your feet and prevail. I can attest to that. I hope I was able to inform you enough about CIDP. Thank you.